In the spring of 2019, it appeared Tom Volk of Lincoln, North Dakota, had broken the North Dakota state record with a catch of this 16-pound, 9-ounce walleye out of the Heart River by Mandan. But the jubilation was short-lived. The Game and Fish Department ruled it had been snagged. However, Tom Volk says that's not the case, and he wants his story heard.
I just kind of been going back and forth with Game and Fish about the walleye and stuff like that. I just got the taxidermist report back, and the taxidermist report concluded that the only place that it could have been hooked was in the mouth, because that's the only place where there's a fresh tear, a fresh hole in the walleye is in the mouth. So I provided them all that evidence, and I proved that some of the witness lied and blatantly lied and stuff like that. And I just asked them specifically to just retract the warning and retract the false statements in their report. And just recently I heard back from them.
Report suggested you had snagged it?
Yes. So they completed an investigation, and they came out with that 11-page investigation report, right? And they referenced some people that were considered involved persons. Well, when you actually break it down, there was only 3 involved persons on that list, not the 5 that they had listed. 2 of them weren't even witnesses, but they classified them as involved persons and interviewed. And then they included some of their statements in the investigation report. So that kind of stuff to me is ethical, because if somebody is not a witness and they weren't even there when I caught the walleye, how could they even be involved? So to me, that was kind of wrong and unethical for them to do. And they did post statements from some of those people that gave them statements that weren't even involved.
Okay. And so basically they've taken away the record from you, but you'd like to just make them at least retract the warning or inference that you snagged the fish.
Right. And actually they didn't take away a record, because I never completed the paperwork to have it recognized as a state record. So all I did was have it verified for weight and stuff like that. And just legitimacy and all that is what was verified. And then I never submitted the paperwork, because that's when all the controversy started coming out. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, So I actually never completed the paperwork to have it recognized as a state record, which a lot of people think I did. And that's because Game and Fish put out a press release saying it was the new state record, even though I never completed the paperwork to have it recognized.
Okay. And so basically, what would you like to have Game and Fish do?
Well, what I was asking Game and Fish to do is I provided them all my evidence, and that included the taxidermist report and everything else. And I asked them to specifically to just retract the written warning and retract the false statements by the witness, the only official witness who provided a statement. Because there's actually only one person who came out and spoke out against my walleye officially, and he lied. He lied blatantly to the Game and Fish officer. And when I showed the officer my images and stuff like that and how the witness lied, their response was, well, we don't know he knowingly lied. So in a way, they admit that he lied, because it's obvious. It's proven by my images. The fact of the matter is knowingly. Did he knowingly lie?
Okay.
So that was kind of the whole thing, is I just wanted them to retract the written warning, and I wanted them to retract the false statements in the report. And just recently I got a response back from them saying that pretty much they're not going to do anything, which is really unfortunate. Because, again, it's not about a record. It's not about me holding a record. I could care less. That's why I never submitted the paperwork. But it's about clearing my name. It's like there was something done to me that the public doesn't know about, or the public is not aware occurred. Like the fact that I provided them my evidence and they didn't look at it. So on May 10th, before they announced their conclusion of their investigation, so-called, I offered them all my evidence, which included the walleye, and they said, nope, we're not going to look at it. My investigation is closed, is what was referenced. And we're like, why wouldn't you want to look at the walleye? Why wouldn't you want to look at the pictures and the videos and stuff like that? This could prove that it was hooked in the mouth. And they said, nope, I don't know why you didn't give that to us while the investigation was open. And I was like, well, because you were charging me with a criminal, you were trying to charge me criminally. I was like, why would I cooperate if you're trying to get me with criminal charges? Because you have to realize the day after I caught the walleye, 4 hours after they announced my record, they opened an investigation. 4 hours after, and then they called the guy who netted the fish and said he was witness to the violation. They didn't want more information. They were trying to convict me of a crime, and he said specifically witness to a violation.
Okay.
So that's why I had to hire an attorney and all that. So it's like people don't realize what they did, and I've been asking them just to make changes, because I don't want the record. I want them just to make changes. They could have actually proven the walleye was caught legally if they just looked at it and took pictures and video, like they were supposed to do when they had it for over 2 hours.
Okay, and at least for now, they've basically told you the case is closed.
Yeah, pretty much, even though there's a statute of limitations on all criminal violations. And an investigation is never truly closed until you reach the statute of limitations. And that's not even close to up.
Okay.
So to refuse evidence before the statute of limitations is kind of crazy to me.
Okay. Well, keep me posted if anything changes, and thanks for talking to me.
Yeah. If you have any more questions, just let me know. But I'm just creating that blog. I'm going to get all my evidence on there, and I'm going to show the public what occurred so that they have a better understanding of why I'm so upset, because it's not about the record.
And you can read more about what Tom Volk has to say online. The address is here on your screen. I'm Neil Carlson reporting for iNews.TV.